Yeah, hello and welcome back on my channel. Today we have a closer look to taxes. How much taxes would you have to pay if you live in Colombia? I already made a part one for taxes when you become a tax resident and how to get a tax number. This is in part one, but today we are talking about how much taxes do you really have to pay. And here in Colombia, yeah, I know the image of Colombia regarding taxes is not the best. You hear a lot of, 39% tax rate. And of course, this is shocking. But today we have a closer look. Does it really is 39%? And I tell you already now, no, it's not 39% always. Let's see it in this video. Okay, I prepared a couple of Excel spreadsheets for you to explain you how much taxes you would have to pay so that you get a personal impression, what it would means to you. Okay, let's start with the first Excel spreadsheet. On the first Excel spreadsheet, we see in the first column the so-called UVT range, and this is something like a tax value unit that is using Colombia, and each unit has a value of 49,799 pesos. These are more or less $11.67. So I converted you that you also can imagine you something with this number in US dollar. Column B and C, you see the tax range or the income ranges from where to where you have to pay how much taxes. And you see until 12,724 US dollar income, you don't have to pay taxes. And then on the second line, you see 12,000 to 19,000. Only in this range, you have to pay 19% income tax. And in the third, it's 19,000 to up to 47,000 US dollars. You have to pay 28% taxes. And let's look, what does this mean exactly? Therefore, in the line base, you see, for example, in the third line, 47,000 US dollars. This means you would have to pay 9,000 US dollars. This is an adjusted tax rate of 19.2%, not the 28 as you see in the column before. Which is the tax range only for this income range. So that means the adjusted tax range is a mix between the first line, where you don't have to pay taxes on the first 12,000, on the second line you pay 19%, and on the third line 28%, and it goes up to the 39% when you have an income of more than 361,000 US dollar per year. Then you have to pay 39% of the amount over this income. But I guess most of you, they don't have this income, and therefore, if you also see in the second line, there is an adjusted tax rate of only 6.8% if you have an income of about 19,000 US dollars. So, and we are talking about the income, the taxable income. This is not your gross income, this is the adjusted income, because here in Colombia you have also a lot of tax deductions, so costs you can deduct, like healthcare, and so on. And it would go too deep when we would go into all these tax deductions. On the next spreadsheet, we see dividend income. The dividends also here, the first 12,000 dividend income is free of income tax. Dividends of more than 12,000, you pay 10% income tax on the amount over the 12,000. You see this in this table. Then we go to the next taxes. This is the wealth tax. Also, this many people is shocking. What wealth tax? But okay, when you don't have more than 800,000 US dollars, then you don't have to pay any wealth tax. It's between the 800,000 and the 1.4 million, where you have to pay 0.5% only on the range in between. Here we also see the adjusted tax rate. When you would have an income, when you would have a wealth of 1.4 million, you pay around $3,000 wealth tax, which is 0.2%. So it's not that dramatic as many people think. But for, I would say, the average, the average person which has 3,000-4,000 US dollar income, probably, or 5,000 US income, they will not pay that much tax that you cannot afford it. In many other YouTube channels, I also see always that taxes is more or less this topic to choose your country to relocate. And in my opinion, this is wrong. You have to look relocation as a package. And of course, taxes is a part of the package. But if you save, let's say, $2,000 taxes, but you have much higher costs of living, much higher costs of healthcare, and so on, then you have to ask yourself, makes it really sense paying more for costs of living and for rents and for healthcare just to save $1,000 or $2,000? Everyone has to take this decision by himself. I just can tell you, in my opinion, what we see when we file taxes for our clients, the average taxpayer, is not complaining about the taxes. We are autarky, and we are a company, a one-stop shop for expats. My name is Roger Schmidt. I'm a Swiss CPA, and of course, we have also Colombian CPAs in our team. Cindy is our CPA. She is filing for our clients' taxes, and when you want to know how much taxes you would have to pay, I highly recommend you to make a so-called tax simulation. A tax simulation means we send you an Excel spreadsheet in English, in Spanish, in German, and then you fill in your numbers and we prepare you a real tax declaration where you see exactly how much taxes you would have to pay. This has costs of about 80 US dollars. For people, they want to know it before they relocate, which makes sense, in my opinion, to check the taxes. But I hope I could give you an overview with this video, with these tables, that you get an impression of Colombian taxes here. Of course, tax law is more complex than just 2-3 tables. Therefore, filing professional taxes is recommended. And I would also recommend you, when you are interested in relocating to Colombia, to follow this channel. On this channel, we are publishing also videos in German, but from time to time also in English. And here we are explaining everything about visas, about real estate, about legal topics, rental contracts, and so on. So there are many very important information, all for free. Others are charging for this. On this channel, you get it for free. And then I wish you a very nice day and hope to see you in the next video. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.